All right, so back to the roadmap of self-transformation, right? It's still a very shitty mess. This might be a 1-minute video, I don't know. But you know, let me stick to this quote actually. I think this quote's very important. There's a lot of stuff going on here, but I think this quote from Peterson's Maps of Meaning is actually extremely important, and I think it's worth discussing or at least trying to understand a bit better. So I'm going to read it. The banality of evil, Hannah Arendt's famous phrase, applied to the oft unprepossessing Nazi personality, is more accurately the evil of banality. Our petty weaknesses accumulate and multiply and become the great evils of the state. As our technological power expands, the danger we pose increases, and the consequences of our voluntary stupidity multiply. It is increasingly necessary that we set ourselves, not others, right, and that we learn explicitly what that means. Right? This is extremely important. I think, one, because I think it emphasizes the importance of tiny wins, beyond even where James Clear concluded, right? James Clear is talking about it on a positive end, right, where it's like, you know, these marginal gains, these tiny improvements, these tiny routines and habits, they do multiply in a positive way, right? When you start stacking them up in a positive way, and then they'll create these transformative results, such as what happened with the British cycling team under Dave Brailsford's aggregation of marginal gains approach. But then on the opposite end, you know, James Clear does talk about how it will ruin you on an individual level, but I think Peterson takes it a step further, right? Peterson talks now about how these tiny issues, these tiny losses are now causing problems, not just on your individual life, because yes, they will accrue and they'll compound to fuck your life up. But now what's happening is that your issues are now also compounding with everyone else's issues that are interacting with you, right? And it creates what he calls like this evil of banality, where everything is ruined, you know, because of these accumulated issues that everyone else has let slide, so to speak, right? And so, I think this is extremely important. I think this, as well as its opposite, right? Like, imagine the positive version of this, where like a state becomes rejuvenated because of these brave, tiny decisions by individuals. You know, this is part of the reason why I find the tiny wins approach so important. And so this is kind of where I want to kind of go, and hopefully I can expand upon that, not only in the, let's say, the written version that I'm gonna end up doing, but then, you know, also just like, you know, in this section as well. I kind of want the remainder of this section to kind of emphasize just how important tiny decisions are, both in the positive and the negative, especially given what I have later, which is kind of the effect that individuals have on the network. Peterson has that great quote above. I'm going to scroll down and hopefully see if I can find the other one. There's this other book called Connected by Christakis, and they're these social scientists that talk about the effects that we have on a network. So let me see if I can find that real quick, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Here it is. And so, you know, I'm going to read this and then just kind of conclude and then be out. So this is what happens. This is our effect on people, right? So their research has shown, let me just get this here, that the spread of influence in social networks obeys what we call the 3 degrees of influence rule. Everything we do or say tends to ripple through our network, having an impact on our friends' friends, and even our friends' friends. Our influence gradually dissipates and ceases to have a noticeable effect on people beyond the social frontier that lies at the 3 degrees of separation. Likewise, we are influenced by friends within 3 degrees, but generally not by those beyond, right? And I'm going to paraphrase this, but this applies to a lot of things, right? Attitudes, feelings, behaviors, political views, weight gain, happiness. They even talk about, you know, money, right? You know, what your socioeconomic status is greatly dependent on the network, you know, and things like that, right? And so we are highly influenced by each other. And then going back to that final quote, or that initial quote that I read, not only are we highly influenced on each other, and not only are we influencing a great deal of other people, you know, whether we know it or not, but this principle of compounding consequences applies to like our environment, our social environment that we're around. So it's like, this is why, you know, Peterson talks a lot about, it's like, your tiny decisions don't just fuck your life up, or they don't just improve your life, they affect everyone around you, because you're a node in this very interdependent and complicated social network, right? And so that's about it. I'm actually, you know, this is something I'm very not only just excited about, it just seems extremely important. And I think this is one of the reasons why tiny wins are such a big deal to me. So, you know, I'm going to actually go ahead and cue this up for my YouTube channel. I did it in portrait, so I know people are going to be pissed at me for not doing it in landscape. Whatever, right? So this is going to be my video for Sunday. You know, hopefully, you know, over time I can refine this document and really just kind of, you know, center in on this concept here, center in on this principle, because I think this is very life-changing, not just for myself, but for everyone around me. So that's it for today. This is going to air on Sunday, I guess, whatever. So the portrait review, you're going to have to deal with that. But, you know, hopefully this is something that provides value, and then hopefully I can build upon this over time.